Okay, it looks like we are live. So what I'm going to be doing today is actually using Alexa with Amazon to pick out my books. So I'm going to be asking Alexa questions. If you have any questions that you want to ask Alexa, as far as like prompts that she can give me, then go ahead and type those into the comments because that's how we're going to do this. So I'm hoping this will be fun. I don't know if anyone will show up or not. So I have some other kind of prompts set out just in case. But we're still definitely going to be using Alexa to pick everything. I don't know why that is so bright right there. Better with the curtain closed. Anyway, I've got some bottles set up too. This one has some Spoopathon prompts in here. This one has the Aurelium prompts. And then I had another one which I was going to put like some genres and stuff in, but I think we'll just kind of use Alexa for that. So, the cat fell. I have not tried to do a TBR like this before, but I just thought it would be a fun and unique way to do it. I don't know if anyone's done it. They may have, but I wanted to do something kind of creative because I didn't really read anything this week other than 3 children's stories because I fall down rabbit holes. So whenever the media overwhelms with different topics, if I get hooked into it, I become like literally obsessed. Oh man. So I was like, that's stressful. It's giving me anxiety because the trials and stuff are happening. So I've been watching those. And I'm like, okay, I need to get some reading and get my mind off of the bad stuff in the world. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. All right. Shake, shake, shake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually try to combine prompts. So I have these prompts, but then I'm also going to be asking Alexa some questions. So let's see. Alexa, right or left?
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Alexa, pick right or left.
Okay. You got tails.
That's not a right or left. Are you serious? Okay, we're gonna try that again. So now that I know how she does it. So this will be heads, this will be tails. Alexa, heads or tails?
Okay. Tails.
Okay, so it's this bottle. Spin it around, see what we get. Let me move this out of the way. Didn't really spin much, but it's okay. Read in one day. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves of unread books. So, Alexa, pick a number 1 through 5.
Here's a number between 1 and 5. It's 5.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the 5th shelf, which is over here, and I will pick a book off of that shelf. The ring light's blinding you. Okay. It's just really dark in here if I don't have it on, but I'll turn it off to get this one. Okay. All right. What was it? Pick a book in one day, read a book in one day. Okay, so it needs to be a skinny book. So I've got Meant to Be by Lauren Morell. I've got He Loves Me, She Loves Me Not, which is a Riverdale, really small. The Distance Between Us by Casey West, which also has orange on it, which I know is another one of the prompts. So I think we're going to go with. Then we've also got Girl in a Bad Place, which is a thriller, which might work a little bit better with some of the spoopathon. I guess we'll go with whichever one is shorter out of these two. So let me see. So this one by Caitlin Ward is 260 pages. And The Distance Between Us, if I can get it, is 300 something. But again, it does have the orange is the spine though, and the back, not really the front of the cover. I guess I'm looking at the fonts. I guess it's about the same. All right. So for that one, we're going to go with this. Okay. So that is A Girl in a Bad Place. This book came out in 2017 on Halloween, and I still haven't read it. I think I did read like a chapter of it. The paved road has turned into two rutted, barely visible tracks as we've gone deeper into the wild. I've never been to one of these off-the-grid places before, and I've always been curious. There's something comforting about a civilization outside of society, where you don't have to worry about stuff like money and college and careers. Did you know this place was so far out here? Jackson asked Kara. And he does not use a nice tone. It's not that far. She catches my gaze in the rearview mirror, and we have a transmission that doesn't require words or even a change in expression. The message is no, neither of us had any idea we were going this far into nowhere. I believe this one is about a cult, and the girls are like recruited at a mall to like come check out this cult. So that's going to be the first book. And I might even kind of try to like read these in order of the prompts because I think that would be an interesting way to do it. So we're going to use Alexa again. And since we know the spinning doesn't really work to jostle, I'm not going to worry about spinning them. So again, heads, tails. Alexa, heads or tails?
Okay. Heads.
Heads. Okay. I know that looks like reversed for y'all. This is my left hand. Anyway. All right, let's see what prompt we're going to get. Alchemy for a qualifying grade in poisons, and I will be learning how to create the potion Acidic Amber. I need an orange book. So this one might be a little tricky, but we're going to see if she can get me to a shelf with an orange book. Alexa, pick a number 1 through 5.
Here's a number between 1 and 5. It's 4.
4. Okay. So that's going to put me on that one over there. And I do see an orange book, so I think this is going to be all right. Let's see what my options are. So for orange books, that's still series stuff, so I can't really jump in any of those. So I've got the Hacienda has like orange and reddish stuff on it. I've also got Margaret Atwood's The Heart Goes Last. Oh, we're going to try to knock out a couple books, so I want to go with short ones when it's a possibility. So we are going to go with Resisting You and Other Short Stories. This is one that I got from an author that was at UtopiaCon with me. It says, Resisting You and Other Short Stories is a collection of stories connected with a shared theme of love and triumph. The road to love may not always be easy. You have to be willing to fight for it. If you love stories of love and overcoming the impossible, you will love this collection. And it's got 5 different like meet cutes. So yeah, so far we're doing pretty good. So that'll be the second book I attempt to read. All right, so this time we're gonna change it up just a little bit. Alexa, ebook, audiobook, or physical book?
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Okay, so ebook is going to be Heads, audiobook is going to be Tails. Alexa, Heads or Tails?
Okay. Tails.
Okay, so that one was audiobook. So I'll have to look on my phone and see if one of these will meet a prompt. So we got to do it again to figure out which bottle we're coming from. Alexa, Heads or Tails?
Okay. You got Tails.
Okay. So a book that is thrilling. All right, let's see if I have an audiobook on here that is thrilling. I don't know that I do. Let's see. There's quite a bit on here. I might have to kind of use Goodreads to assist. So what I would like to read that I have, let's just see what my options are. So there's a lot of like paranormal stuff, but I don't really know anything about them. And there's a lot of fantasy. So the one I need to read next would be the third book in the Blood and Ash. But I don't know if that has thrilling, if it's thrilling. I mean, they are kind of gearing up for a war. I think the third one is The Crown of Gilded Bones. So I am going to refer to Goodreads and see if someone has tagged it as thrilling. Crown of Gilded Bones. It says fantasy, romance, new adult. Then it has a couple other things, young adult. I would not put it in the young adult category. I'm like, what? I'm pretty sure she's like over 18 or at least 8. I think she is 18. I don't know. Seeing if anyone has put it under thrilling. There's like 100 pages of results for this, so I'm only looking on the first page. I ain't got time to be looking through 100. Okay, nobody put it under thrilling. So what other options do we have then? I just don't think that there's any on here that are thrilling. I've got Kingdom of Exiles, which I don't know what it's about. It's the first book in a series, and I don't have the other audios. Faye, okay. Growing up in a backwood village, her life is lonely and dull. Then on her 18th birthday, she's gifted a magical heirloom, only to be snatched by Fae and condemned to a lifetime in chains. Dragged to Aldar, a Fae kingdom ruled by a tyrant witch, Serena discovers a forbidden love and meets fellow outcasts, each with their own dark secrets. As lives of warriors, rebels, and witches clash, they find a shared destiny, for only together, with Serena's unique gifts, can they survive long enough to build the flames of a revolution. Only together can they go to war. Okay, it's not a thriller, but she said it didn't have to be a thriller. It just needed to be thrilling. So I think with the war element, we could probably swing that. I'm going to look at the other one's blurb and see if it had maybe the word thrilling in it from like the author or something, because I would like to do that one. Oh man. Okay, so if you have not read the first 2 books, this blurb might be a little spoilery, so I'm just going to keep my hand up and you can scroll through the video if you're like watching this on backplay, or mute me until my hand goes down, and then I'll have an answer for which book I'm choosing. Okay. She's been the victim and the survivor. Poppy never dreamed she would find the love she's found with Prince Castile. She wants to revel in her happiness, but first they must free his brother and find hers. It's a dangerous mission. That's really all I need to know. It's a dangerous mission. If there's danger involved, then it is like a thrilling book. So that works. I am going to put on a piece of paper the title so that I know it's in the stack, since I'm putting them in order. So that is The Crown of Gilded Bones. Okay. So the next one, we really need to figure out an ebook. So we're going to do an ebook. Alexa, heads or tails?
Okay. Tails.
Okay, so that's this one. Okay, come on. And get it out. Okay. Alchemy, this will be for the D levels, which I'll learn Willowweed, and I need to pick a 1-word title. So that shouldn't be too bad with ebooks, but I have like 1,000 on here. So who knows how that's going to go. Let's see what we've got. And I'm sure y'all have seen what the Crown of Gilded Bones looks like, but if you haven't, I'll turn the computer so you can see it before I tell you what I'm going to pick for the next one. So that's Crown of Gilded Bones. All right. I have a crap ton of ebooks, and it's made worse by the fact that I get BookBub recommendations where it tells you like all the free ones, and I pretty much am indiscriminate, and I pretty much download all of the free ones. So there are certain ways that you can organize your grid. So I don't know. Okay. I know how we're going to do this. So it's going to be one word, but I've got thousands of books. So I'm going to start scrolling, and Alexa is going to tell me when to stop. Maybe that'll work. Alexa, tell me when to stop. Do I have to say hey first? Hey, Alexa, tell me when to stop. Alexa, hey, Alexa, tell me when to stop. I don't know if she's listening. Are you not listening to me? Hey, Alexa, set a timer less than 30 seconds. Did you do it? Hey, Alexa, set a timer for 5 seconds.
5 seconds, starting now. By
Okay.
the way, I can send a notification to your phone if you don't hear your timer right away. Would you like me to do that?
No.
Okay. If you change your mind, you can enable this in timer settings in the Alexa app.
Snooze? I think that's what it was. Is that my timer? Hey, Alexa, snooze.
Okay. Snoozing your timer for 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes? Oh, I should have said the other thing. Okay, so now I'm going to look for like the first one that has one word title that I can read right away. So we've got Wire Walker, something called Spontaneous, which I think there was a movie based on that I already watched. Then I've got one called Pasadena. These are all ARC, so I can't even see any covers. Traces. Let me see if I can find one with a cover. That might be a little better. Then at least I have an idea of if I'd want to read it or not. And again, I give myself like at least 2 choices because I don't want to get stuck with something horrible that I don't want to read. So we've got Slammed by Colleen Hoover is the first one I see that has a cover with one word title. And nope, that one has more than one word. It's just the cover didn't do very good. Argonauts, I don't know what that is. It doesn't have a cover. Then I've got a Jennifer L. Armentrout, but it's a series and I have no idea what number it is. Okay, and then there's one called Breathless that looks kind of like a vampire romance. I think I'll take a chance on that if it's not like way down in a series. So I'm downloading so that I can see where it's at in the series, because it should give me some more information. So this is book 1 in the Blue Fire Saga by Scott Prusing. It says, oh, it's definitely a vampire romance. Okay. I haven't read one of those in a while, and it's probably older too. Like because I scrolled for quite a bit before I got down. There are 9 books in the series. I don't know about that. I don't know that I want to invest in something that far down. That's a lot of books. That is a lot of This is what happens when you buy free things. Okay, but I'm going to read it anyway cuz maybe it's worth trying. I don't know. I don't know though. 9 books is a bit much. Okay. We're going to go back. Let's see what else we've got for one-word titles. There's one called Promises, but again, it is a series starter. It looks like a mermaid series starter. Another one that looks like it's more than one book. I don't want to do series where I don't own them all. Come on, I need a standalone. A standalone with one word. It's another one that's part of a series. Okay, there's one called Curio. I don't know if that's part of a series or not. Let's see. I've seen it before, at least. Like someone's talked about it before. Okay, this is... Looks like this might be a standalone. I think it's a standalone. I might have to check on Goodreads to be for sure. But yeah, let's look on Goodreads just so that I know I'm not getting into a big old series. Okay, it is a book 1, but let's see how many are in it. Oh, one of them's just a prequel story. That's fine. I am fine with that. Okay. Unless the series is supposed to continue and it never did, then I'm ticked. I don't want to read something that doesn't end. I left the book desperate for a second installment. From the looks of it, yes, currently there's a prequel to this, but Goodreads has it marked as book 1. Dismiss. Alexa, dismiss. Okay, so again, this thing came out in 2016. If it doesn't have the second book, I'm not wasting 400 pages reading something that where the author never finished it. No. I think I'm going to need Alexa's help. Alexa, do I have any one-word standalone titles?
Here's something I found on the web. According to Thesems.com, one word, Frontierville, Facebook, also, standalone game.
No. What? No, Alexa. Okay. We're going to try this again. All right, let's see what we've got. So the first book that's on here, but I'm going to type it in because, again, I don't want to be getting into no 50 book series. I'm not doing that crap. Arranged. Julia. It is a trilogy. And it's short. It's like 200 pages. I'm okay with that. So it says, magic's been restored on Earth, but it comes at a crippling price. With the planet on the brink of destruction, an unlikely pair must work together to try to bridge together a lifetime of hatred. Will their forbidden romance bring their worlds together or tear them apart? The fact that it has the word together 3 times in the blurb tells me the writing is probably not good. There's going to be a lot of echoes. What do y'all think? Do I go with it, or do I say no? Let's look at chapter 1 and see if the paragraph's horrible or not. All right. Daughter, it's time for you to join me on Earth. I've found a human mate for you. Groaning, I threw the covers over my head. I really hated when my mother woke me up with her voice in my head. Maybe if I pretended I didn't hear her, she'd go away. Yeah, right. Like that's ever worked. I know. You said read the whole chapter 1? I know you're awake. Kicking the blankets off, I rose to my feet and stretched my wings while stumbling toward the bathroom. Grasping the sink, I leaned in and studied my face. My eyes were a bit puffy from staying up too late with Aston, but other than that, I looked fine. A quick glamour fixed the small imperfection. After all, a princess always had to look her best. I rolled my eyes. Talupia? Did you hear me? For a brief moment, I debated not answering her, but I knew all that would accomplish would be her guard storming into my room to make sure I was safe. Being daughter of the fairy queen sucked at times. I had no privacy, no choice of my life path. My mother wanted me to mate with a human, so I had to do it. She didn't care that I'd already given my heart to another, or that I'd be the laughing stock of the fairy rim. Duty came first, always. Is he good looking at least? I crumbled as I padded across the cool marble floor back to my bedroom. Even before she spoke, I could sense my mother's disapproval. Looks are not important. What is important is repopulating the earth, so sacrifices will have to be made. Great. He's a loser. Why was this happening to me? Okay, this is definitely probably an early book from the author, and it was probably written, I was going to say like 2010, but it says it was written in 2015. So it is a little old, not too old. And I think I've heard of this author before, so I think she's fairly popular. Julia Crane is the author of the Keegan Chronicles, IFICS. She has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Julia believes in magical creatures since the day her grandmother first told her an Irish tale. Growing up, her mother greatly encouraged reading and using your imagination. And when I say old school, it makes me think like Amanda Hawking type, which Amanda Hawking is one of my favorite authors. So I'm okay with stuff sounding a little like it was from when indie stuff first started happening. So, but it was funny enough. But it did have, I said the first book thing because the one of the first things you learn as a writer is you never open a book with a character waking up and looking in the mirror. And it did both of those things. And it had the echoing words in the first chapter, and the first chapter usually gets edited the most. So if you find things like that in the first chapter, they will probably happen throughout the book and get progressively worse. But I mean, I like the concept of the fact that she's already in love with someone and she's got to marry someone else. So I think I'm going to go with it. I don't think I need to look any further. I think we're good. Yeah, I don't know when this author started. They had stuff way before that. Okay, they had stuff even in 2011. So yeah, we're gonna go with that for the ebook. And that was arranged. And I'll show you the cover if it'll let me. So it looks like this. All right. So I'm going to write that down again because I'm going to try to be doing these kind of in order, but also I read ebooks at nighttime. So like the ebook and the audiobook, I'll kind of start at the same time as these physical ones, but it's okay. All right. It's pretty. Yeah, it is. It is. So since I now finally have a viewer, do you have something that I could ask Alexa to give me that would help me pick out a book? So what I've been doing is like a heads or tails, and I have 2 bottles with prompts from some readathons that are happening right now. But if you have an Alexa prompt, I will combine what you give me that Alexa gives me. I will try to combine that prompt with the prompt that's in the jar. So if you've got any, let me know. I'm going to take a drink real quick. Do you want a trope? I can try to ask her to give me one. I tried to test with like genre earlier and she couldn't do it, but we'll see. Alexa, can you name a book trope?
The Trope Thesaurus by Jennifer Hilt. The Kindle ebook is $6.99.
She tries to sell me stuff. No.
Okay.
Hey, Alexa, what is a book trope?
Here's something I found on the web. According to wikipedia.org, a literary trope is the use of figurative language by a word, phrase, or an image for artistic effects such as using a figure of speech.
Hey, Alexa, can you give me an example of a literary trope?
Here's something I found on the web. According to softschools.com, these are some of the most common types of tropes: metaphor, simile, hyperbole, personification, irony, allegory, pun, metonymy, onomatopoeia, oxymoron.
Alexa, define onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia is usually defined as the formation of a word, as cuckoo, meow, honk, or boom, by imitation of a sound made by or associated with its referent. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for onomatopoeia.
I don't think that one's going to work. Oh, she gave you a book too? Okay. She can do like heads or tails type questions. So if you like, for instance, if you want me to pick between 2 genres, I can assign it a heads or a tails and have her pick. She can also do, I tested these earlier, she can pick a color, she can pick a number, and she can give you a random word as well. She might be able to do a random name, but that might be a little hard. Let's see. I guess I'll see one of these first, and then we'll see if we can narrow it down if it's an easy enough one for me to find with lots of options. Hey, Alexa, heads or tails?
Okay. You got heads.
Okay. Let's see what's in this bottle. Whoop, 2 came out. LGBT book. Okay. Let me see. I don't know how many options I have as far as her being able to narrow it down. I know I've got one over there. It's kind of big though. And then that one has it too, but I can't remember how it fits into the LGBT. I just know that it has it. And then I've got another one that is an intersex story that I've had for a long time. And all 3 of those are on the same shelf. Let me see. Oh, and I also got Ship It. So I see 4 books already that do have the LGBT in it, where it's like a main character. I think Love Interest also has an LGBT character. Hey, Alexa, does the love interest have LGBT representation?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Have her pick a number between all the books you have. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I don't think any of those have it, and those are all series, so I don't want to do a series. Okay, let's see. So I've got, I don't know if, oh, there's one over there too. Okay. I'm just getting my LGBT standalones. Oh, I haven't done that one haven't looked at that one in a while. Okay. So I had more than I thought. Okay. We've got quite a bit to choose from as far as standalones. I didn't get into my series. These are only LGBT standalones that I have not read. So some of them I know I have it. It has it, but I don't remember exactly what it is. I kept the love interest on there because I don't know for 100% sure that it does. Okay, so we've got Something Like Gravity. I have read from this author, Amber Smith, before. She wrote the book How I Used to Be, or Someone I Used to Know, or I've got it on my shelf somewhere. Oh man. But anyway, it was like the girl. The Way I Used to Be was the book that I read from her, and it's about the aftermath following a girl through all of her high school after sexual assault. So this is Something Like Gravity. It has trans romance in here. This is another book by the same author that has a sapphic romance. So I guess if we do her picking a number, so this will be number 1, number 2. So I'll go from the bottom to the top. And then I'll have her pick one. Before I Let Go, this author wrote a book that I read called This Is the End, which had to do with school violence. And this one, I think the girl falls in the ice. So it's going to be like a sad one. But anyway, yeah, Before I Let Go. And I think people think that the girl did it, but she didn't. Then we've got Love and Other Disasters. I believe at least one of these is a cook. This is also a trans romance. And then I've got Reverie, which I think is a gay romance with like a carnival. So it's got magical stuff. And then I've got None of the Above, which was written by a woman who helps intersex people. And she does so she had like a lot of people that she helped. Anyway, so yeah, this one is about a girl who finds out that she's intersex when she tries to do it with her boyfriend and things don't work the way that she thought that they were going to work. And so she winds up finding out that she has a undescended testicle and has XY chromosomes. And then I've got Ship It. So that, and this one is about a girl who ships this guy and thinks that he is gay on the TV show. So she's pairing 2 of the cast members. And whenever she asked him about it, at a Comic-Con, he basically makes a homophobic statement, no, he could never be gay. And then they hire her to kind of consult for the show. So let's see. We've got I guess we'll go from top to bottom. So top, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 books. So what I'll actually do, so I have a choice, is whatever number it picks, I can either count down from the top or count down from the bottom and choose between those. So if it's anything other than 4, I'll get 2 options. Hey, Alexa, pick a number 1 through 7.
Here's a number between 1 and 7. It's 7.
Okay, so that means it'll either be Ship It or this bottom book, which is Something Like Gravity. Do y'all have a preference between these two? Let me see. I think Ship It might be slightly smaller, but I already kind of told you what that one is. What's this one? Chris and Maya aren't off to a great start. They're first brought together when they almost crash on the road, and their next encounters don't fare much better. Chris's good intentions backfire. Maya's temper gets the best of her, but they're neighbors, at least for the summer, and despite their best efforts, they just can't seem to stay away from each other. The path forward isn't easy. Chris has come out as transgender, but he's still processing a frightening assault he survived the year before. Maya is grieving the loss of her older sister and trying to find her place in the world. Without her, falling in love was the last thing on either of their minds. But would it be so sad if it happened anyway? Gravity. Okay, so we will go with Gravity. So that's a friend pick. Okay. And I'll have to put those up later. And then we need to do this again. So, Alexa, heads or tails?
Okay. Flipping. It's tails.
Okay, so this one. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay, so what's happening with the delays is that so I'm live streaming through StreamYard, so it does take a second for it to get to YouTube. Oh. But I also have to like manually display the comments, so but I see it. All right. A Deadly Romance. So I have a book that has a zombie in it. And I did start reading it a couple of months ago and I never finished it, but I was like 100 something pages into it. So I think I'm going to go with that. Unless I see another one that y'all are like, yes, I want that. So let me see where that book is. Okay, so I think I'm going to let y'all see two options. For the Deadly Romance. So we've got the one that I'm already like 100 something pages into, which is Generation Dead. So this is about some teenagers in this one town, and it's like this one little area that when they die, they come back to life. Not everyone comes back to life, but a lot of them come back to life as like these zombies, and they're in the same school. And one of the boys who's a zombie wants to be on the football team, but the living kids don't want him to be on the football team. So they're like harassing him and beating him up and stuff. And there is like a goth girl, and she is like standing up for him. And then there's also A Touch of Darkness, which I think I've read like 50 pages of. And this is Persephone and a Hades retelling. And the reason why I say Deadly Romance is because there is a death element where like when she touches stuff, it dies. So that's kind of what I thought of was these two books. So Persephone is the goddess of spring in title only. Since she was a little girl, flowers have only shriveled at her touch. After moving to New Athens, she hoped to lead an unassuming life disguised as a mortal journalist. All of that changes when she sits down in a forbidden nightclub to play a hand of cards with the hypnotic and mysterious stranger, Hades, god of the dead. So again, Deadly Romance. All right, you said, ooh, do the P&H retelling. Okay. Well, Haunt Me came out today. The MC is a ghost. It's on KU. My KU ended yesterday. But yeah, I'll go with this. I do not have the other books in the series yet, but I feel like if I like this one, I will definitely continue. So that's going to be that pick. I can put this one right back on the shelf. Why did I have it there? Oh, that must have been from another book. Okay, this one was here. All right. All right, got 2 bottles again. Alexa, heads or tails?
Okay. Flipping. It's tails.
Okay. Looks like the Spoopathon bottle has had a lot of action. A book with murder. So none of the ones that I've picked out so far have murder that we know of. I think the one with the cult might wind up with the murder, but who knows? And so I've got quite a few books with murder. I have one that literally is like has murder in the title. Standalone wise, let's see what we've got. I've got a ghost one, but I don't know how she dies. I don't know if she's murdered or not. And I don't know if there's a murder in the Ruth Ware books that I have. I kind of want to do like a sci-fi if there's a murder in one of those. I think I do have a sci-fi that has a murder, but it's not a typical murder. So I think I'm going to do that if I can find it. Let's see. Because I got to have some other genres, y'all. I can't just read the same thing. It might not be a standalone because I don't see it yet. So I guess it's part of a series, but I don't know how many books are in it. I organized my shelves a little funky. So it might take me a second because this is like new. How I have it. I thought it was a standalone. It's very skinny too. This is also why I turn around the books I can't read right away because it makes it easier to skim over. Found it. Retrograde. So I read 28 pages of this, which is why I knew that people die in it. There is some sort of like terrorist attack on Earth, but they're all up in space. So retrograde, NASA prepared us for every eventuality on Mars, but no one thought about what happens when disaster strikes Earth. Humanity's greatest undertaking has been to establish a permanent colony on another planet, extending life beyond Earth. After the exhilaration of reaching the surface of Mars, public interest has waned as the exploration of the red planet moves into its scientific phase. With cosmic rays bombarding the surface, the only viable means of long-term habitation lies beneath the planet in lava tubes. Liz, Connor, and Harrison are senior members of the U.S. module. When a nuclear war breaks out on Earth and rumors spread among the different nationalities colonizing Mars, they find their core principles tried and tested. The loss of family and friends back home weighs heavily on everyone. Who can you trust when your countries are at war? Grief and anger become pitted against camaraderie as the crew of the international colony struggle with their allegiance to each other and the mission. And the main character is a woman in space. So I'm going with that. So we've got our murder book because there's like none of these characters carried out the murder, But there's like a nuclear war going on Earth. So I think that definitely falls into murder. Okay. Hey, Alexa. Heads or tails?
Okay. You got heads.
Okay. Okay. This might be an ebook selection. So I'll probably need 2 ebooks for the month. So this one says spells and incantations. For the O level, I will learn the spell of recolor, and it has me do a color wheel. So I'm going to need Alexa to pick color. So, hey Alexa, can you pick me a color?
Here is a color. Atomic tangerine.
Hey Alexa, what color is atomic tangerine?
Here's something I found on the web. According to halogroves.com, these tangerines are extremely sweet and they are an incredibly bright colored orange fruit. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Thanks for your feedback.
I already had to do orange though. So that's not fun to get the same color. So we're not going to do that. We're going to have her give me a new color. Hey Alexa, can you give me a color?
Here is a color. Asparagus.
That is not a color. Okay, asparagus is green. So let me see. Yep, we'll do this one. So I've got Wandering Star, bunch of green on this. And it also has the orange that she said earlier with some yellows and stuff. So we're going to go with this. This is the second book in the Zodiac series. So in the first book, the planets like slam into each other, and she saw it happening before it happened. She uses this thing called like the ephemeris, and no one believed her when she was trying to warn them. But then once they find out she was right, then she goes and tries to warn other planets because she sees the same sort of thing escalating and happening again. So they're kind of in a race across the clock. And some people think that maybe she had something to do with it. There's also this like astrological being, and most people think that it's fake or that someone is behind it, but she thinks that it's real, and it's like rumored to be the 13th like planet, with the it has like all the astrology symbols and stuff. So yeah, this is the second book. There is a romance in here. There's like kind of got into a little bit of a love triangle where one of them is kind of like a guardian to her, and he's a couple of years older. I think he's like 22 and she's maybe 17, so I'm not really comfortable with that. But he says like, I know I'm too old for you, but I also kind of looked to see how it turns out. So yeah, anyway. And then there's another guy who like instantly believes her and always has her back. So I'm kind of going for that guy because I'm really not comfortable with a minor with a guy that's in his early 20s. I'm just not. I'm too adult for that to be okay at this point. So we're going to go with this. Yeah. All right. Let's see. More bottles. Hey Alexa, heads or tails?
Okay. Flipping. It's tails.
Okay. My stack's starting to get pretty big over here. All right. Incantations. Echo. Steal from another person's TBR. So, for this one, I guess I would need help from one of y'all. Is there anything you're planning on reading this month that I have? I have a lot of books. I don't know if I've already pulled out one where you're like, yeah, I have that. But also, I have a crap ton of ebooks. So I probably should pick another one of those. So, or maybe I'll just, I don't know. Do you have anything you're planning on reading this month, this coming month? And then maybe I'll do like, if I have one from that author or something, I might do that. I have a lot of ebooks. A lot. Thousands of ebooks. You're like, maybe. Oh, man. So I am going to draw another one. We might try to combine. Hey, Alexa, heads or tails?
Okay. Flipping. It's heads.
I feel like she just alternates every time. I don't know. All right. Can get it open. Set in summer. So do you have any books that you want to read that are set in summer? You know what? I think I have one. And my friend just bought it. So it's on her TBR and it's an audiobook. And it's Casey West. And it is called, where is it? Places We've Never Been. And it looks like they're on a road trip in the desert. So that would definitely work. Let me look at the details because I don't know anything about this book other than that it's Casey West. Places We've Never Been. Looks like that. It says a sweet and swoony contemporary young adult novel about a cross-country family road trip that puts one girl and her childhood best friend on an unexpected road to romance. Okay. Nora hasn't seen her childhood best friend Skylar in years. When he first moved away, they talked all the time, but lately their relationship has been reduced to liking each other's Instagram posts. That's why Nora can't wait for the joint RV road trip their families have planned for the summer. I did it! I found one! It's a summer! But when Skylar finally arrives, he seems like he'd rather be anywhere else. Hurt and confused, Nora reacts in kind. Suddenly, her oldest friendship is on the rocks. An unexpected summer spent driving across the country leads both Nora and Skylar down new roads and to new discoveries. Before long, they are once again seeing each other in a different light. Can their friendship turned rivalry turn into something more? Yes. I also have Sunkissed by Morgan Matson, but it's an ebook, and so yeah. But we did this, so that's the summer one. So I'm gonna write that down, so I know. I kind of have like a goal to like read all of my friends' ebooks, not ebooks, audiobooks. I'm like, what did you add to your library? Okay. I just put Casey West on here. I didn't even put the name of the book. Places We've Met. I just trust her audiobook recommendations. So I was like, yeah, I want that. I want that. I mean, she hasn't been wrong yet. I've pretty much listened to all the same books she has. So I'll put that there. All right. We got one more left in this bottle. I'm going to do this because I feel like she's going to give me tails. Hey, Alexa, heads or tails?
Okay. You got tails.
What did I say? I think she's just going every other. I'm like, Alexa, that's not very fun. That's not very fun.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Okay. I can get it out. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Inscription for Q levels. I will learn inking technique and I need to do a graphic novel. So I did go to the library for this because I don't have any graphic novels that I have not read on my shelf. So where did I put it? I'm going with this one, which is Fake Blood. It's the beginning of the new school year, and AJ feels like everyone is changing but him. He hasn't grown nor had any exciting summer adventures like his best friends have. He even has the same crush he's harbored for years. So AJ decides to take matters into his own hands. But how could a girl like Naya Winters ever like plain vanilla AJ when she only has eyes for vampires? When AJ and his crush Naya are paired up for a group project on Transylvania, it may be his chance to win her affection by dressing up like the vampire hunk of her dreams. But soon enough, he's got more of Naya's attention than he bargained for when AJ learns she is a slayer. So, yeah, he pretends to be a vampire only to find out that she's a vampire slayer. So, it's a pretty chunky graphic novel, but there's not a lot of words on each of the panels, so I'm excited for that. I did pick it up for one of the other readathons, but I never got to it, so I got it again from the library so that I could read that. So liking that. We're just going to go ahead and take one because she just kept going every other anyway, so I'm just going to grab. All right, so this one says Alchemy for O levels. Basics of Poisoning, book on someone's worst list. And let's see if I can try to combine it with whatever this one is. A ghostly book. So, do y'all know of any books that were on a worst list that are ghostly that someone said, I hate this book? I mean, I don't know. I feel like that one's kind of hard. She also did say that if there was one you just absolutely didn't want to do, you could change it. The worst list that I did find was The Lost Apothecary. I don't think it has a ghost in it. Because I did some research. Because some of these, I was looking for like physical books that would work for it. What is this one even about? A Forgotten History, a secret network of women, a legacy of poison and revenge. Welcome to the Lost Apothecary. Hidden in the depths of 18th century London, a secret apothecary shop caters to an unusual kind of clientele. Women across the city whisper of a mysterious figure named Nella who sells well-disguised potions to use against the oppressive men in their lives. What? Nella's dark world is no place for her newest patron, a precocious 12-year-old girl named Eliza Fanning. But their unexpected bond sparks a string of consequences that echoes through the centuries. 200 years later, aspiring historian Caroline Parswell discovers an aged apothecary vial in the River Thames. As she is newly grappling with the searing betrayal of her husband's infidelity, a curious research project is exactly the distraction Caroline needs. But when she discovers a link between the vial and London's long unsolved apothecary murders, Caroline's upended present soon collides with an explosive history, binding her fate to Nellie's and Eliza's in a stunning twist that transcends the barrier of time. Okay, with it saying it transcends the barrier of time, it makes me think maybe there is a ghost element. So we're going to cheat and we're going to look on Goodreads and see if anyone tagged it as ghost. Oh, I did read the reviews on that book and wanted to read it. Oh. I do have a ghost book, but my physical book pile over here is getting pretty big. All right, let's see if anyone tagged this with ghost. It does have thriller on here. Feminist, historical. It's a lot of people did tag it with magic. Murders on here. 51 people with murder. All right, let's see. What did I pick for murder? Oh, the sci-fi. Okay. Yeah, so we're just gonna go with this for the worst on a worst list. Let's see if either of these two prompts, if they're ones where we could combine, because my stack is getting pretty big. Inscription, glyph, recollection, a childhood favorite. And then we've got one more prompt over here. That was Artificery, O, Arcane Engineering, Level 1, AI. So I'm thinking that retrograde, if they're on Mars, they've probably got an AI system. I feel like this would have an AI system. And this was a prompt from a different readathon, so I can combine it, even though with the one readathon you can't double up, but it's two different readathons prompts. So let me see here. Retrograde. It says AI. Okay, so we're going to use that to go with the artificial intelligence. Let me see here. So we still got, oh, already did books on worst list, put that in the pile. So I've got a childhood favorite and I've got ghostly. So I don't have any childhood books here. The closest one I have to that is I have a bunch of books that I got in high school. So I have some Melody Carlson books, and they're really tiny, so I could go with that. And I have some ebooks, but again, it was like I wasn't young. I was in high school. Nice, glad you got your list done. Childhood favorites, like I have Harry Potter, but I didn't read them until I was 30. So I don't have any childhood favorites. I have a book, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, which I got when I was in 9th grade. And I have a bunch of Louise Duncan books, but I don't want to do any rereads. There is one, I think I didn't own the book, but I got it from the library and I started to read it, but I never finished it. And it is kind of ghosty in a way. So I think I could combine them. So let me see where that one is at. Where are you, Louise Duncan? should be easy to find because I thought it had an orange spine, but it's not popping out at me. And I know I didn't get rid of it. I would not have done that. These are supposed to be in alphabetical order, so why don't I see it? Oh, there it is. Stranger with My Face. So I started reading Louise Duncan in 6th grade. So I would have read this part of it. Like I started it and then I moved schools. So this was probably, I feel like I started it in maybe 6th grade. That's about as old as I've got. Okay, that's fine. Death Waits in the Mirror. Laura Stratton finally has everything a 16-year-old could ever want. But just as her perfect summer comes to a close, things start to unravel when her boyfriend insists he saw her out with another guy. When Lori was really homesick, more mysterious sightings convince Lori someone very real is out there watching her. The truth reveals a long lost sister who has spent the years growing bitter and dangerous. She has learned how to haunt Lori, but the visits soon become perilous. She wants something from Lori, her life. I think this must have a ghost in it then, because it said haunt, and she wants the life, which makes me be like, is there some ghosty? So let's find out. Okay. Young adult horror fiction, mystery thriller, fantasy, paranormal, suspense, supernatural, creepy. Uh, I mean, it has paranormal and supernatural on here. Let me see if this one has Congress of Library, because sometimes it'll tell you. So it says twins astral projection. So that's not a ghost, even though it kind of has that feel of a ghost. So I guess for the last book, because let's face it, this is a huge pile. This is so big. I'm going to go with The Ravenous Dead by Darcy Coates. This is the second book in this series. He'll never let her go. Kira, hired as Blighty's graveyard's new groundskeeper, lives surrounded by the dead. They watch her through the fog. They wordlessly cry out. They've been desperately waiting for help to move on. And only Kira can hear them. But not every restless spirit wants to be saved. Sometimes the dead hate the living too much to find peace. As Kira struggles to uncover the tangled histories of some of the graveyard's oldest denizens, danger seeps from the darkest edges of the forest. A vicious serial killer has interred among the trees decades before. His spirit twisted by his violent nature. He's furious, ravenous, and when Kira unwittingly answers his call, she may just seal her fate as his final intended victim. So the other thing with this series is that there were some people that were chasing her on a rainy night and she had lost all her memories. So she doesn't know why she can't remember anything. So there's also her own personal plot line going on. But I read the first book last year and I was so excited. This one came out in March and my best friend got it for me for my birthday. And I hadn't got to it yet because I was in the middle of like 5 series and I was just trying to knock some of them out. But yeah, I was debating waiting until October to read this to get like the spookiness. But if I'm going to read Stranger with My Face, that's spooky. And then this is spooky. So if I do these in order, I'm going to get 2 spooky ones back to back. And then I've got the sci-fi death one. And then I've got the Lost Apothecary. I also will have a book of the month that will come at some point, and I still haven't read the book of the month that I got last time, but I am going to read a book of the month this month, which is the Lost Apothecary. So as long as I'm finishing at least one book of the month every month, I'm okay, even if it's not the one that I ordered. But yeah, so this is my tentative. This is what I plan on reading. So let's see. I will try to show you. Ooh. I'll turn these around so you can see them. So physical books, because you can't see the 2 audios and the ebook that I put on here. So we've got 2 audios, an ebook, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 physical books. This is a big TBR, y'all. That is huge. Oh, that's a big TBR. But I feel like if I try to read 3 books a week, I can do it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah. What I might be doing for TBRs if I'm reading this many books, that's 13 books. And if I make physical reads my priority, so that's where I'm spending most of the time, there's no shortcuts. It's like my slow reading speed is what it'll take to do these. So I do have a slow reading speed. I read like 33 pages an hour. That's very slow. Oh. We're going to attempt it. Am I going to read these in order? I don't know about that. I'm like, I can read all the short ones in like a real quick go. But it's kind of fun. Like, I don't know, if I rearrange these a little bit, then I could kind of fit them with their genre. So I've got, if I did genre, I've got three spooky books, a graphic novel, which is also, it's contemporary, but again, there's like vampires in this world. It's technically spooky. Then you've got sci-fi. And where did the other one go? And another sci-fi. So 2 sci-fi. Then you've got a thriller, another paranormal. So I guess that makes it 4 paranormal. And then 2 contemporary. And the fantasy, Crown of Gilded Bones, and Arranged, which I guess is either a fantasy or a paranormal, and then the Casey West book. That is a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. But you know what? I need a distraction from the world. Am I really doing this to myself? Am I going to try to read all these in one book in 1 month? Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it. And I think what I'm going to do, because I haven't started any books this week, I just read 3 children's books. There's still 3 days left. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start some of the longer ones that I'm not going to like just read a little bit and get them started. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. There's so many. So many. Oh, man. The other book I want to read this month, because I know I'll wind up reading 2 of the ebooks. So there's 2 other ebooks that I would probably get to this month. Also, I have a release coming out this month, which I'm excited about. Not my book, but the next Allie Hazelwood book is coming out. So I want that. Why is her book not popping up? There we go. So I want to read. Why didn't I pick that for my LGBT? Duh. Okay. That's what we're doing. Okay, we're gonna do that. So, because I need less of the physical. There's too many over. There's way too many over here. So I've got this one. This is an LGBT romance, and it's short, and it's an ebook. So I am going to swap that. I'm gonna swap it, and I'm gonna use this instead of something like Gravity, just because I need something shorter because I've got so many over here. And then the other one is that I want to read is another Allie Hazelwood. I want Book of the Month to make her new book a hardback, because right now the only offering is a paperback and an ebook, and I don't want that because I own the hardback. So I need the hardback for the second book because I want my series to match. So they better do it. Anyway, Below Zero. So that's the other one that I want. And I don't think I can switch this one for any of these. I mean, he has like orange hair, but that's about as close as I could get. It's not a thriller. It just came out this month, so it's not on anyone's worst list, I'm sure. So I think, yeah, that's just going to be like an extra book that I'm throwing in, but at least I took off a novel. I know that was a bit all over the place. I had definitely kind of had ideas for her to do more than Heads or Tails, but it's somewhere to start, so I might try this again in the future. But it was fun using Alexa, and I just got it, so it was nice testing it out. Yep. So that's it. Thanks for watching this long video. I just heard the microwave go off, so I think my husband's fixed dinner or something. I don't even know. But I am going to relax and maybe start reading some of this. Maybe I'll read one of the short stories. I need to probably work on my book. I am planning out a 12 book series. They're all set in the same town. and there's characters who make cameos. Like the couple from book 1 is going to have a wedding in book 4. So, but it's going to be different main characters for that. So I've got to figure out how I'm weaving all the stories together. But my brain just needed a break. So I was like, I'm just going to go live for today's video instead of trying to plan one out. I just didn't feel like doing all that. So this is what y'all got, is the TBR. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will see y'all later. If you do want me to try this again next month, in the comments, if you've watched this far, give me some things to ask Alexa, and we will try this again, and it should go a little smoother. But otherwise, that's all I've got. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, share with friends, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.